Tell me a little about it. Your first meeting with them.
First meeting?
Yeah.
I saw No Doubt. Well, I knew No Doubt before. Kind of, they would play parties, and I would just happen to show up at the same parties. And then the old drummer, the original drummer, I was really good friends with him. We went to junior high school. Him and the saxophone player, Eric Carpenter, we all went to junior high, and I kept in touch with the drummer, and we kind of started hanging out. And remember when it was like his last couple shows that he went off to join another band, but I would see him at parties all the time, so we just knew each other from then, kind of. It wasn't really a close relationship. It was like passing by, like, hey, what's up, type of thing. And that was pretty much it.
When was this?
I don't remember. It's a long time ago. I was in high school still, and I'm a lot older than that now.
88?
I don't know. Numbers don't mean. I don't really know numbers.
So,
just think about how old the band is.
Yeah.
And just think of them in high school.
Oh, okay. What are you doing for them now?
I do Tom's guitars. I work on his guitars, and I set up all Gabe's keyboards.
Just to make sure it's rolling, right?
Mm-hmm.
Tell us a little more about yourself.
I'm a very lucky person. I like to. I don't know. It's a tough question.
Surfing?
I like surfing. I love surfing. I love skateboarding, like in pools and stuff, and ramps and stuff, mini ramps. I love to hang out with my friends and surf and skate. Tom, I love to go out and hang out with him, and hang out with Matt Sharkey and Chris Finn and all them, and go skating and surfing and go on Tom's boat and just kind of cruise around and stuff.
Right. So describe a normal day for you while you're working for the band.
A normal day for me.
How does it start?
Usually it starts around 8 o'clock. It could start around 8 o'clock, but usually I start around maybe 10 o'clock. Starts unloading in the truck to set up the gear. Usually before that, around 8 o'clock, the rest of the crew's in here setting up the sound, setting up all the lights, getting the stage ready. And then as soon as the back line comes in, which consists of all the amps and stuff like that, that's when I usually step in, and we start setting up all the band gear. It's like the last thing that kind of goes up, first thing to go at the end of the night. So as soon as the show's over, pack up all the band gear and all the rest of the stuff. So I mean, my day usually starts around 10 a.m. I probably don't go to bed till like 2 p.m. or 2 a.m. I'm sorry.
Okay.
With
So,
long days.
yeah. Would you say that the fans and their attitude has changed over the years, or would you say that they remain pretty much the same?
No. The fans now, it's like it's weird because they try to get on this, like I was into No Doubt first, type thing. Like when I go in the chat rooms, it's like, oh, you're this newbie or whatever, and it's like, it's so stupid. It's like, I think it's really cool that if you like, just because you just got into No Doubt because of you heard Tragic Kingdom and you were into them then, and then somebody goes, oh, well, I was into them before that. It's like, that's great, It's like, I think a lot of times when people say, yeah, you're a newbie and stuff, it's like they didn't discover No Doubt then. They're just discovering them now, and people shouldn't talk shit about them for being into them right now. They should just accept it as like, cool. They like No Doubt too, just as much as I do. You know what I mean? So,
what is your best and worst memory from all the time spent with them?
There's a million best memories.
Pick one.
There's enough.
Among many.
Jerusalem was great.
You have any? What happened there?
It was just being in Jerusalem and Tel Aviv. I'm not religious at all, and I just was at a place to where I never thought I would ever be in my life. And I just happened to be in Jerusalem. Went to the Wailing Wall and got blessed by some, I don't know what you call them. I'm not religious at all, so it's like, and I was floating around in the Dead Sea, and I lost something that was valuable to me at the time, and it was like,
that was bad.
Yeah, it was bad. It was my wedding ring.
Oh man.
So, but it was in a. I guess if I was religious, that would be good place to lose my wedding ring than be in the Dead Sea. So I don't know. But I mean, there's a million great stories. There's a, it's like, and then when you ask me a story, if you talk to me, it's like, it just comes up, oh, yeah, remember the time we did blah, blah, blah. We went to, Hawaii when there was 12 of us riding around scooters in Hawaii. And like just nobody really knew how to ride scooters when we're going down the wrong way streets, kind of stuff like that. There's a million different, like, just random stuff that happens with these guys.
Yeah. So, any bad things happen to them?
Usually the bad things are...
Things that you don't remember, you don't remember?
The things, usually I try not to dwell on them, because it's only going to be something... Usually the bad things is just when something goes wrong with the gear, and this show has to stop, and it's just the kind of this business, you try and make sure everything rolls with the show, and make sure it happens, but there's just, sometimes it just stops. There's nothing you can do about it. You just gotta, and you just feel like a piece of shit, but, it's, there's so many other great things, it's like, I've been with these guys for so long, and there's so many stories,
Totally. After hanging out with the band for over a decade, you must be a very close friend of the band. How would you describe each member of the band?
Yeah, I mean, they're all different people, you know what I mean? It's like, Gwen is like, I don't know. It's like,
yes, but it's not so right. It's just kind of
I don't know,
tough.
I think Tom's the most laid back, Gwen is the most, I guess, artistic, I guess? Jenny, would you say Gwen's the most artistic? Yeah. Gwen's like Gwen's like the most creative person, and a sweetheart. And then Tony's like, you don't really know how he's coming from. He's just constantly joking with you, but it's just, kind of in his weird kind of way. And Adrian's just like, likes to have a good time, likes to be part of the rock and roll. He's they're all super great people. But they're all different. And I guess that's what makes them such a different type of band. There's so many different influences coming from all around them. It just isn't one way of thinking. So.
And Steve and Gabe?
Great.
How would you describe them?
Steve is an amazing for a person. Up on stage is incredible. Super great guy. I mean, they're all super good. And Gabe is just incredible musician, just full of knowledge. And Gabe is one to watch. I think later on in time, he's going to be. I just see Gabe like being part of like the Saturday Night Live band or something. Something crazy like that. Just he's going to be. I hope that's what happens with him. I just hope he's. But he's definitely. I mean, as far as the band, they're just. It's weird. They're all great.
Were you with the band when the first visited Europe?
No.
Oh, okay. So maybe they're not...
I was with this band called Dogstar.
Oh, okay. So maybe you know a little about how they felt about coming to Europe after all those years being a band.
I think at that time they were just excited just to go to Europe. I mean, I wasn't there. I did see them in Europe at the time, and it was a whole different experience. Europe is coming from America. Europe is very hard to tour.
It's different.
It's definitely different. It's a whole different style of living. It's like you're constantly, you don't have the same amenities as you normally do in the States, like 24-hour markets. The fans are a little bit more crazier, I think, in Europe. A little, psycho. But
Particularly ones from Sweden, huh?
yeah, there's this guy named Patrick Larsen who was a psycho.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Tell me about it. Okay. So how did the band according to your view, cope with the enormous success that came with the tragedy?
I think they took it great. You know, I mean, they all lead normal lives as much as they can lead normal lives. I mean, definitely there's a different kind of pressure put on them from all different angles, you know, but I still think they all try to keep it real. And, you know, it's really tough. I mean, they're asked from different angles, from fans, from record labels, all like what they're expected of, and people want from them, and I think it's really tough. You know, I think it's especially a lot different for Gwen, and I think Gwen is really hung in there tight. You know, because
I think she's on like a total different level.
I don't know if she I mean, I don't know, a different level.
I mean, like for Adrian, who looks like half of the guys in California, you could go out to any mall.
Yeah, no, I mean, you know, I'm with Tom and I go to a burger place or something, In-N-Out Burger, and all of a sudden there's girls that says, you know, you're Tom, and it's like we just got done surfing and it doesn't look like Tom DeMont from No Doubt. It's just like, you know, or Adrian is just, you know, they all got their certain looks, and you know, they're well known, but they've definitely kept it real, and they don't, you know, they're not into posh stuff. You know, they've all pretty much kept it real as much as they can. You know, I think definitely Gwen is just.
The one who gets the most attention, right?
Gwen definitely gets most attention, you know, and and she's coped with it well because I mean she's, you know, it's weird, you know, she reacts well. She loves, you know, the attention, I think, and I think and it's not over her head. She totally reacts well with it, you know, with the success that she's had, and you know, there's some people that you know in this business that have succeeded in, and just their heads have exploded, and they've got a little bit caught up into themselves, and I'm not going to tell who, but you know, but there's people in this band who's a little bit more rock than what they should be, you know, and this band is you know, always kept a level head about everything, the success.
Right. So let's get back to one of the previous questions here. What other bands have you been working with?
In the last 2 years, I've worked for NoFX, The Offspring, did a Bad Religion tour in Europe on the Warped Tour, No Doubt, usually, and then I did a couple of small things for some other bands and stuff like that.
Would you say it's different to work with, compared to other bands?
Yeah, it's definitely different because I've been around with them for so long. It's like family. It's very, you know, and as far as like a lot of my decisions, it's very tough because I'm brought in the middle of it, you know, of like my own opinions and you know, of the way I think things should happen. But then I have to kind of step back and suck it up and say, you know, these guys are in a business and I work for them, and you know, this is their life, and I'm just an employee. But also, you know, it isn't like they consider me as an employee. They consider me part of the family. I think they do. I feel like they do, you know.
Awesome.
So
let's go on to the last question. So I guess you could see yourself working for No Doubt for some time to come.
yeah, I'll always work for No Doubt.
All right.
As long as they'll keep me hired, so.
Thank you very much, Mr. Spada.